Hello and welcome to Hidden Existence. Happy 4th of July to all you guys that are celebrating, going out. Firework night, is it, over there? Our guest tonight is LA Swamp Ape, Carl Gautreaux. How are you doing, Carl?
Oh, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. You've got some new stuff to talk to us about since the last time you were on.
Yeah,
Start?
I have one new video, at least that one of my friends did for me. That he enhanced one of our old videos where and when I heard it the first time, and that's the bad thing about YouTube is when you play a video that you record off of a camera, it's crystal clear. You hear things that you don't even hear on YouTube. But when you put it on YouTube, they compress it. And I know people understand compression. I mean, compression is if you put a banana on the ground and you stomp on it, you have compressed it. But sound waves and video waves is you're taking something this big and making it this big to put it in a certain format so it can go through the the process of being played on YouTube. So a lot of things get cut out. The quality is not as good. The video's not as good. So basically what he did is he just took all that out and basically refiltered it and almost turned it back into the original and pulled out some stuff that we couldn't even hear. And he's not a Bigfoot guy. He's just a regular guy. He owns a recording studio. And I asked him to take a look at it, and he said as soon as he did that process, took it off of YouTube, and he said right away it piqued his interest because he said he saw some stuff on the graph that he's never even seen before, like some spectrum waves. He's like, I got to look more into this. That's when he really started, I guess you can call peeling back the layers. And, he said the further he got into it, he's just, he's like, it was just blowing my mind because he said there's waves and sonically. Let me use that word because that is a good word. That's the word he uses. Sonically, he's never seen anything like it. So I think that really piqued his interest. And, thank goodness because he did a heck of a job if you listen to it. I mean,
well, let's have a listen, shall we? Do you want me to play it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
You might have to describe what's going on there with the dog.
Yeah, because I couldn't hardly even hear myself. I would just encourage everybody just to go watch it and listen to it. But what he thinks, and this is only his opinion, he thinks it's almost like a mother or a father scolding a child. And he said the voices on the recording aren't human. And I asked him, so how do you know that? And he said, well, sonically, get back to sonically. I'm probably going to use that term a lot because it's a good word, because it really, really does fit. Sonically, it's not human voices.
So, so how is that? Can you explain?
Well, he says it's whatever it is. It has vocal cords and it has a huge diaphragm to make the noises it's making sonically. Because he's, and like he said, he said, okay, fine, I'll do it. And he said he thought he would listen to it, and he thought it would be a perfectly simple explanation. Oh, this is this, it's an owl, it's this and this. But he said as soon as he loaded it on the equipment, what did he call it, interface, he loaded it on the interface. He said when the graph came up, he didn't even hear the audio. He said when the graph came up, he said, holy crap. He said, what is this? And he said, that's what's really, he didn't even hear the audio. He just saw the graph and said, what the hell is this? And that's when he started listening.
There, because you're avoiding the swear jar, aren't you? I must tell everybody it's $10 swear word. That goes to the kitty. I just thought I'd drop that in there.
At this point, I could probably fill it up. I mean, we in the next 10 minutes.
Let's not fill it up. Let's not fill it up.
No.
So is there any more stuff that you can look at? Have you got got quite a bit of audio, haven't you?
Yes, and the next one he's doing is that howl we have, which that caught him by surprise too, because he said same thing when he went a little further on the howl. He actually took samples of anything that can make a sound like that: a dog, a wolf, a coyote, bear, anything that lives in the United States and Canada that could possibly make that sound, and tried to match up these waves, and nothing matches. The only thing he said he found, I told him to go listen to the Ohio howl, and he did. He pulled it off, measured the waves, and he said it almost fits to a T. Except he said the one I have recorded is a hell of a lot closer. There's you another $1.
Wow, $1. What I was going to say, you've just knocked me off my train of thought.
Yeah, when you start talking money, huh?
I know, everything goes out the window. It doesn't really matter anymore. I had a really good point to make then. So I can't remember. Keep talking, and I'll think of what I was going to say.
Well, no, I mean, I would love to have him come on, because it's probably the greatest thing, because he knows nothing about Bigfoot, but he knows a hell of a lot about audio and the signatures and the footprint. He calls it foot off. So like I said, when he saw this, he was like, what the hell is this? He said, I've never seen a graph or spike like this before in my life. I mean, and like I said, the howling one, which he's trying to finish up now, but he had a little incident. He had a surgery. He had to get taken care of, emergency surgery. So I don't know how long it's going to take. I can wait, because it's going to be a good one. And, he can look at something graph wise and tell it's not normal. So that's what impresses me, that this guy is just looking at something and can tell off the bat it's not normal, it's not human.
It's very interesting. That's what I was going to say. Everybody go and listen to it, because I think it'll sound a little bit clearer as well, because it's coming through my podcaster thing, and then through the stream. So, but everyone, I put a link in. I think Andy put a link in as well to go and check out that video. Don't go now. Go after the show and have a listen to it.
No, so, but I mean, I think You know, and it, like I said, that's the most impressive thing to me. He's not a Bigfoot guy. He has no interest in it. Never even looked into it. But he is a sound engineer, and when he sees something, he didn't even have to hear it. Like I said, he sees something, and he knows it's not right.
Mm.
So that's the, and like, okay, he did the video for me, and you know, call me. I talked to him. I said, well, if you really want to see some crazy stuff, go listen to the Sierra sounds. So he did, and he basically did the same thing he did with my video, and he said the two sonically, here we go again, sonically, whatever's on the Sierra sounds and the video he did for me matches up perfectly. And it's not human. Not it's I don't want to say it's not human. It's not like me or you.
Mm.
And you know the old theory about Sasquatch might have two vocal cords? Well, we do too. But it's
Right.
not technically a two vocal cords, but and he explained it to me, and I would have to get him to explain it to you. So evidently that can be possible because basically we have two sets of vocal cords.
Is he watching
So
tonight? Is he going to be watching tonight?
I don't know. I think he's in the hospital.
Oh, right. Of course. Yeah.
I think he's.
Fair enough.
I don't think he's going to be worried about Bigfoot tonight. He had his appendix
Oh, his
ruptured.
appendix. Sorry. Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um. In terms of anything else, have you had anything else going on around you?
well, we just got back from vacation last week, which we I know, and look, thank everybody for asking about us and stuff. We just needed a break. So we just, you know, just got away from it for a couple of weeks and took a vacation. And we haven't, to be honest, Rachel made the comment the other night, I haven't even been looking at the camera. So I can't even tell you if we had anything go on or not, you know? But really, what got me back into it and piqued my interest is when he sent me this video, you know, because he really didn't know what he was looking at or hearing, you know. But I did, because I've heard these sounds on other videos and stuff like that, so I knew exactly what we were dealing with. He didn't, and like I said, that's the most interesting part to me, is he could look at that thing and tell something wasn't right.
Mm.
So that's evidence, you know. I mean, people want evidence, evidence, evidence. Whoop, there it is. You got it. This dude can look at a graph and say, this ain't normal. This ain't a normal human. There's talking on this video, but this is not coming from a normal human.
Mm. But where do we go now with it? Where do we take it now? What can we do with it?
Just another piece of the puzzle. I mean, you know, this who's this Scott Nelson guy?
Mm.
You know, he's basically saying the same thing. I mean, so what do? Do we try to decipher it? Well, good luck with that. I mean, because you know, I said, man, can you understand? You know, no, you know what we need to do? You need to get Rich King Lord on this show, and he can probably tell you word for word what they're saying. Because
Mm.
I'm telling you now, this guy here, he can hear a mouse fort and a Category 5 hurricane. He's good when he tells you to go. Yeah, not fort ain't a bad word, so you ain't getting no money there. But if he tells you to go to 0025, there's a whistle. You better take all your money and go to Las Vegas and put it on that red and say, Rich King Lord told me to put this on red because it's there. I don't know.
Hi,
And he
Max.
doesn't have any equipment.
Got a question from Max. What kind of mic and recording device are you using?
Excellent question. Absolutely. Excellent question. So he asked me, what are you using? What kind of recording equipment are you using? I said, the microphone off the camera. He said, so you're not putting any kind of standalone microphone or anything on? I said, no, it's just the audio off the camera. I said, we tried it And I said, we get better results. We hear things. And he said, good. He said, because you keep doing it. He said, because that is an excellent microphone in that camera. He said, it has some kind of harmonic balancer in it. Now, I have no idea, but he said it is a really, really good microphone and it picks up the smallest detail. You just have to bring it out. And it's a Nest cam, like Rachel said. So
Yeah.
cheap. Anybody can buy one. I mean, it's easy to use.
Are you thinking of putting more stuff out? Any recording equipment? Anything else?
Well, I mean, on his recommendation, no. I mean, now I was thinking about maybe going in the patch of woods where me and Rachel go walk and maybe leaving just a little standalone recorder overnight just to go see, you know, what we get or what we pick up. But here, I mean, the camera we have and the microphone we have sounds like it's doing the job. So, I mean, and that's another thing too. There's audio on that video which you can't hear. We can't hear, you know, just by playing it and listening to it. But he was able to strip away everything because there's a part in it where it sounds like there's a bark or I don't even know how to explain it, a growl, which you don't even really hear in the original video. So it's here we go again. Sonic, you might want to change that cuss word to sonically because I'm gonna use this a lot tonight. Sonically, it's there, but we can't hear it.
It's a frequency, isn't it? Basically, another word for it. Rich Tricky Moffat. It's on Carl's YouTube channel, and I'm just going to put a link up now to the channel. So he's what's he saying? I'm kind of in the middle of trying to convince a friend of mine Bigfoot is real. I'm collecting audio at the moment to play to her, so we'll have to check out the full version. So yeah, it's over there. And
I think I told you what happened was, so you know, when we started talking about this, I sent it to him and I said, hey man, you know, there's talking, there's chatter going on in here because I could kind of hear it with my headphones on the original, not the YouTube version, the original version that we have. But I couldn't get it. It wasn't clear and I couldn't make it out that good, but I could hear something. So that's how, you know, all this got started. But I heard it originally, not to the degree that I'm hearing it now. No way. But I could tell something was there. And I wish, because what he did is, and I told him, look for words and language and people speaking. So, but in that video, if you go watch it, I think the house even gets hit by a rock. That's not on the video. What he was looking for was talking gibberish and, you know, that crazy monkey howl in the beginning and the bark. I guess that's the best way to explain it. And that chirp. See, we had been hearing that on our videos forever. And now that we thought it was a squirrel, or a bird. And but as people know, squirrels don't come out at night. So we just attribute to it's a squirrel or it's a bird, but it's on this video and would you say it sounded like a whistle? If you listen to it, it sounds like a whistle. Or a mouth pop. Or a mouth pop. That's what Rachel thinks it sounds like.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting. Yeah. You've picked up so much stuff from around your house. What about audio in the beginning? Was there a lot of stuff? Do you remember picking up anything?
On the original?
No, I mean, literally go back last year, go back the year before when it all started. Were you hearing much noise?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we would hear, Daniela, we would hear sound like a damn bulldozer in our backyard, ripping down branches and shuffling, and you couldn't see anything. I mean, now I'm gonna tell you now, I'm not going, especially after hearing this, I'm not going outside with a flashlight and looking over the fence. Believe me, uh, that's not my cup of tea. These old boys who want to go out there in the woods and look for them, hey, God bless you, but just be careful what you wish for, because once you see something, you can't unsee it. And this is what I've been struggling with. This is why I needed the time off, because you will have nightmares. You will run yourself crazy trying to get answers that you'll never get answers to, probably, unless you die and go to heaven. God might have the answer. Uh, so, like I said, just be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? A lot of people see it. Oh, you've gone frozen. A lot of people want to see it, don't they? But
friend carry on. He can tell you.
Yeah. Lots of people will say the same thing, wouldn't they? It's not something.
Well, that's why when somebody says, well, you know, I've seen one and it hasn't affected me. Bullcorn. Is that a curse word? I had to
Not
add
yet,
it.
but it could be.
Well, we just pretend it was.
Maybe a fiver.
Who's in charge of the swear jar? Andy?
I think someone's keeping track. But what I did notice is someone wrote the word, and we should keep it clean in the chat as well. And someone actually wrote the bad word, which is only $5. So I think it's only fair that they contribute for putting it in the chat.
Well, I mean, I could probably, you know, get you up to about $3,000 tonight, but there might be some kids watching. So, you know, I don't, you know, I know you probably said it for no kids, but you know, it might, you know, that works.
I know it works. I know it works. So what about what we've got here? Andy gone fishing. How you doing, Andy? Carl, anything misplaced in the backyard while you were on vacation? Did you notice any satsumas or persimmons missing?
No, I haven't. We didn't. I haven't really noticed or looked, to be honest with you. But one weird thing did happen. We had a little gifting shelf that we had put up between the fence and the shed, and kind of screwed it into the. Put a 2x4 on the fence, screwed it into the fence, and put a sheet of plywood, and we, you know, mounted it to the shed. So for one reason, the dogs couldn't get back there, and second, you know, we put the little shelf on it. Well, the other day, I go to the back little apartment, and it's gone. The whole board, the whole thing is gone. So it's knocked down. It's not gone. And I went and looked, and it's behind the shed, flipped over. So, and I use screws, you know, probably 6 to 8 inches long to put this thing, and use several of them because we have hurricanes and high winds here. So I don't know what happened to it. I mean, it got knocked down.
What are the dogs like at the moment? Have they calmed down? Are they different, or did they recover from it? You know, all that tension.
Yeah. Tori has. I mean, Bella never did. That, like I said, she'll run through a fire to get to a squirrel. Bella never. It never bothered Bella, and they seem to prefer Bella over Tori. But yeah, Tori's back to her normal self. But like the first thing when we open that door, she beelines it for that tree, and that's the first place she goes check. Then she runs behind the little apartment. She makes almost a loop around the yard every time. It's almost like a natural. And she runs to the exact same spot every time. It's crazy. Almost like Rachel said, like almost like she's checking to see if something's there to protect us, you know? And I don't know. It's just the whole damn situation is weird. I mean,
You put some marbles in the fence, didn't you? Did that create anything? Did that cause anything to happen?
No, they didn't take any out of the fence. Of course, I drilled a hole in the fence and we glued them in there. So I kind of thought about it after, and like, well, Rachel, how are they supposed to get these marbles out of here? They even got to push them out. And Rachel said it's just maybe to attract them. But what we did do, we had put some a plate with some marbles on it on the little, we call it the gifting shelf, and we noticed that all the blue marbles were gone. Just the blue. Now, I mean,
they weren't upset though that you'd messed with the fence. I think that's what I mean. That something was different.
No, I mean, unless they knocked the plywood down, and that was a protest, but they might have done that when we weren't home. I don't know. I mean,
could well have been, couldn't it?
We, like Rachel, like I said, Rachel said, we haven't looked at the camera footage and I don't even know how long. I mean, it's like we kind of just gave up. You know, it is what it is, and then, like I said, I was having so much trouble with YouTube. I would put up these videos and it's like, man, why am I doing this? Nobody's watching this. I mean, I'm wasting my time. I can just sit back and do something else. I mean, but then it all changed when, he sent me that video and I heard what I heard on it. So I'm back.
Hi, Joseph. Carl, how many minutes or hours of recordings do you have now?
Saved, because the way it works is, I mean, the camera, when there's an event, and anything can trigger the camera. I mean, I can look at it right now and I have a crystal clear picture, but it has an autofocus in it. So what it does is anytime it senses movement, it can be something, it could be even a leaf moving, blowing in the tree. It'll kind of give off a little blip on the recorder, and you have to go back and you have to watch hours and hours and hours and hours. Now you can skip to the blips, which is good, but we have caught a lot, or Rachel has caught a lot of stuff, because Rachel has the patience to do it. I don't. You have to sit there and go by minute by minute by minute by minute by minute. And we have caught a lot of stuff in between those blips that didn't even show up.
Yeah, if you put it into Audacity, you'll be able to see the blips. You'll be able to just look at it and see,
Well, let's see. I can kind of give you a demonstration. I don't know if it'll come across, but let's see. Okay, where am I at here? Here's the picture of the yard. All right. Let me see. Let me scroll. Turn the microphone on. I'm talking to my dogs right now. All right. Here's some blips right here. Where am I?
Yeah.
There you go. See those little blips? Those little white things right next to the little picture? Well, that's an event. You can see my dog's head. The dog is probably barking or something. Yeah. But see all this space in between it? There's nothing. Well, you basically have to go through all this, because you can't just rely on the blips. You take it back to 3 o'clock in the morning, like here, 4 o'clock in the morning, here's a blip. Now I don't even know what's on that blip, what triggered that camera.
The dog's howling.
Rich says the dog's barking, so I don't know. So it's a lot of intense stuff. I don't think people understand that. Some people do, like you and people who do this, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do all this and put up a video that nobody's gonna watch. I mean, so it's like I don't have to convince myself. So,
no. Well, we don't have to convince anybody anyway.
Well, no, I don't even care. anymore. You know, I really don't. I mean, you either believe me or you don't. I don't care. I mean, just
Well, you've captured something. We don't know what it is. We know it. We know what it isn't, or we think we know what it isn't. We don't. You know, you don't think it's human. So you know, there's something there, and you know, we need to get it out and discuss it.
well, you know, and like we were talking yesterday, the reason we started this is to like just promote awareness, to let people know, you know, hey, these things are out here. Like I gave you the perfect scenario. I don't want a grandmother and grandfather to go camping in the middle of the woods with their grandkids and run into one of these things that are pissed off. Could just go listen to that video. It sound and then that was an interesting thing to me too. He said the way it shows up in the graph, it's almost like the cuts in it. It's almost like it would be a child, a mother or a father scolding a child. That's what he came up with. Now, take what you want from that. I mean,
there was something in the Sierra Sounds, wasn't there? It sounds like they were having a conversation between two of them, and
well, it sure does.
one of them could have been telling the other one off a little bit. You know, you
Well,
kind of read it like that.
now the second video I did yesterday, after going back, you know, when I was listening to this video and I heard that umpteen, I said, I told Rachel, I said, wait, haven't we heard that before? And I was trying to figure out where we had heard it for. And it's actually a clip that our friend Bigfoot Tony did for us that I didn't even send. I didn't send it. I didn't put it up on YouTube. It was just the clip right off of here. So he had a clean version. And I always encourage everybody, if you want to analyze something of mine, picture wise, video wise, let me send you the clean copy, because you hear so much better and you see it's so much clearer. Analyze that. Don't go on YouTube and pull something off. Don't worry. I'll send it to uh, uh, Tank Tunker or whatever his name is, or Hoodoo Guru, or whoever wants to look at it. I don't care. You can have it. You can look at it. Because like I said, I'm doing this for the right reason, for awareness. I think some people are not in it for the right reason. And you know who I'm talking about. But no, I forget what I was saying. I'll just say, damn, and we'll get you some money. I forget. I lost my train of thought.
Well, Andy's been keeping a tab. I mean, I didn't think it had been that much.
There you go, Andy.
Really, Andy?
Not how much?
$70.
Whoa.
I know.
Let's get you. Let's. Oh, hold on now. Let me go off a topic altogether, because I see my good buddy Andy gone fishing. Okay, he has started a YouTube channel and he would like to get to 1,000 subscribers so he could go fishing, grilling, playing his bass live, which would be great. So if everybody could help him out, go subscribe to his, and you might even learn how to make a gumbo or do some Cajun cooking. So it'd be well worth the subscription. So go check him out and subscribe to his channel.
I'm just going to find the link now for it. So everybody, if you like grilling, fishing, walking, talking, stuff like that, there's Andy's link. So yeah, go and check out his channel. Andy, I'm going to message you after. I've got something to tell you. Right, where were we at?
I don't even know. I'll swear again. Damn.
Excellent.
Oh, let's get back. Oh, let's get back to umpteen. Let's get back to that. So I noticed that, or I realized that we had this recorded before, and like I said, our good friend Bigfoot Tony had did a recording for us, And sure enough, I went and found it. And you can listen to it. Go to my channel, go to the community page, and there's all kind of pictures and videos there, and you'll find the video that he did for us. And there's all kind of crazy stuff in there. You really need to go listen to that one too. But we find it interesting in our good friend Rich King Lord, the Vegas genius, says right before it says umpteen, somebody asks the question, what is your name? Or who are you?
Mm.
Something to that effect. And it's umpteen. So umpteen here in the United States, if you say, well, I have umpteen dollars, that's a lot. That's
Mm.
a
Got my
so
swear jar tonight.
yeah, exactly.
Got
And
umpteen.
and we kept looking it up, going on Google, looking it up, and everything brought us back to French. But then my good buddy Ruger Ridge told me that it also can translate to some Latin word that is related to water or something like that. I could have that wrong. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong if he's on here. But anyway, talking about let's while we're on this subject, because me and him got on this earlier today, and I find it very interesting. So people say, well, these tree breaks and tree snaps, they don't mean anything. The hell they don't, because I'm gonna tell you what, every tree snap or break that we went and looked in those woods, had a compass with me. Every one of them is facing southeast. Okay, so for something to come through there naturally and twist everything southeast, okay, get that, over years and years and years, everything is broken, is pointed southeast. Well, southeast from there is the Gulf of Mexico, a huge body of water. So I find that interesting. People, I hear people say, well, tree breaks don't really mean anything. And the hell they don't. The Native Americans used to do it. They
Mm.
used to actually grow trees towards water sources. So I don't know who came up with that theory that tree breaks don't mean anything, but I think they do.
It's just one of those things, isn't it? We can only guess what
Well,
Sasquatch are doing. But yeah, I mean, there's arrows, isn't there, that point to that sounds, likely. But yeah, we don't know
well,
a lot of where stuff's come from, do we? I mean, we do, but sometimes it loses a lot in translation, doesn't it? As
yeah.
well.
Well, another thing we found too is, like, I don't want to just throw a blanket over, just a broad statement, but everywhere we found a tree break that was facing southeast towards the Gulf, you could go 5 foot, 10 foot on a game trail, and something was blocking the trail. A tree jammed in to two other trees. Now, I get 100% trees fall, stuff happens, they rot, but this is no coincidence. I mean, like I told somebody, this little patch of woods is so twisted up that I've never seen. I've lived here 5 years old. Grew up in a swamp. Okay, I've never seen a patch of woods like this before in my life. Even after a Category 5 hurricane, this twisted up, and it's just weird. When you go in there, you just get a weird vibe, and something's not right. I mean,
Hmm. Sasquatch Australia. Why do tree breaks occur at all different heights? That is anywhere up the trunk. But I wonder if that's, means something.
I don't know. Uh, so on one of our videos, found a pretty good sized tree, twisted, and there's trees all around it, bigger trees all around it. So if a tornado came in and twisted and broke that tree. Well, it missed about 5 trees around it. I mean, so how could it was almost like a ring? How could that one tree have been hit? And there was even smaller trees that this stuff just blows your mind. I mean, it's not some of it's natural, but when you see stuff like that, it just doesn't make sense. If you just stop and think about it, it doesn't make sense. Because why didn't this tree go down? This tree is in the same direction, same path that the tree is leaning. Why didn't this one go down? It's smaller. It can't hold up to that kind of wind. I mean, very, very crazy. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that'll keep you up at night and you won't sleep.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, you know, just say they weren't that intelligent or, you know, not as intelligent as we think they are, they would be wrecking trees all the time, wouldn't they? Like beavers, they don't care. They just want to build a dam. They're going to chew down any tree that they need to create the dams. They're not thinking. So we find, you know, we don't find like a trail of structures, do we? We don't seem to find trails of or do we? I don't know. What I'm trying to say is they don't do it a lot. And is there a reason for that if they are doing it? You know, like we'd see twisted trees all the time, wouldn't we? If they were about and it was just something that they enjoyed doing for something to do or to build the muscles up. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, none of us know. But that's interesting that, you know, that they haven't just wrecked the whole, they don't just wreck the whole woods.
Right.
Snapping trees, twisting them, breaking them down. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's
thought
like if you know, if we knew all the answers, all of us on here wouldn't be here right now. We'd all be millionaires. I mean, so and I don't think we're gonna get an answer. I hope we do. You know, and people say it'll take a body. Okay, that's right. It will take a body to verify the species, but that still doesn't tell you, which I don't need verification. I know they're real. It doesn't tell you their thought processes. It doesn't tell you their language. It doesn't tell you, you know, you can't get that out of a dead body.
What did I say? What's the D word? Did I just say something bad?
Damn.
Is that a bad word?
I know.
Word?
Well, I don't know. Hell.
What does it mean?
Is hell a bad word?
I don't think it's it's describing a place, isn't it?
I don't know. Somebody Google a bad word.
Well, we know what kind of bad words are, don't we? But anyway, let's not.
Sorry,
Tracy, if that's
the same kind of language.
She's cracking me up. You should be like working with me, not point. I'm gonna have to deduct that out of the swear jar now.
It's the same kind of language when me and you talk on the weekends.
Hey, listen, there's no swear jar big enough for us when we're talking at the weekend.
No,
online. We really let our hair down, don't we? I mean,
now listen, hey, and I don't know why this just popped into my head. I don't know if anybody's ever heard this before, but I talked to an old man, probably 80 something years old, and I told him what was going on, and you know, just to see if he would respond. And he told me, he said, "Oh yeah," he said, "if you want to run a rougarou off your property," he said, "what you need to do is go get you 4 pieces of angle iron, at least 4 foot long, and they have to be rusty." He said, "You go on all 4 corners of your home or your property and you drive them in the ground." He said, "That'll run them off."
Well, they said, you know, camera and lights and stuff like that, but that doesn't always work, does it?
No.
These things aren't always. Look at Donnie Miller, who's putting lights up and they're just getting smashed. The bulbs are just smashed. It's not deterring them. And Livewire, I mean, I don't know the exact details, but I'm pretty sure he's been trying to put things out to get those things to stop coming around, and they're still Well, the last time I looked, they were still coming around. So, don't know.
Well, I think game cameras are effective, but you got to have them all over the place, because if you just put one or two out, all they're going to do is just go around it and avoid it.
Mm. Well, trail cams make sense, don't they? If we can never get them on a trail cam, just surround your house with trail cams.
Yeah, if you can buy enough of them, because I'm telling you, the best advice I ever got through this whole damn ordeal was from Carrie Arnold. He said, treat these things like a person. Don't treat them like an animal. They think like people. And I'll be damned if he's not right on the money. I mean, because the things they do, some of it's just crazy. Some of it's just you can't understand, explain. But some of them is calculated military type precision.
Mm. Joey Hayes here. I think. Oh, getting a bit of feedback there. I think they bury their own. Is that not only if they live with each other, amongst each other? What happens when the juveniles get older? Are they chased away? And like swans and other animals do, they don't want the young to hang around them. Do they only bury their own? I mean, what about a rogue one who's just wandered off on his own and lives on his own? When he dies, his body's just going to be lying around. I don't know. It's
Well,
a point, they could do.
and I keep bringing this up to a lot of people. Almost every time I come on a show, there was a show several
Yeah.
years ago. These two brothers were going in the middle of the woods and finding these elaborate graves underground with these big, huge skeletons, 7, 8, 9, 10 foot. What the hell was that? Could it
Mm,
possibly have been a Bigfoot? And why didn't they do any kind of testing on these things? That's the weird part to me. I mean, they're finding these huge skeletons, and nobody ever thought to test some kind of DNA, and some of them still had hair.
mhm.
I mean, oh, speaking of hair, I got a message from Edward Mung the other day. Well, yesterday, matter of fact, Ron Moorhead wants me to send some of the hair we have, and he's going to get it tested.
Brilliant.
So,
Yeah.
how about that?
Yeah, that's good. That's great.
I know.
And then, it either goes into the evidence box or it doesn't. At least don't you? This is the thing. We could be holding on to clues that are not clues. And until we get to test these things and, get others' opinions on them, maybe we have
Yeah.
to let some things go and keep some other things. But it's just a guessing game, isn't it, a lot of the time? Loretta Riggs. Hi, Loretta. Hi, guys. I've heard that some of these Bigfoot dogmen werewolves were put out by the government for the use of war. They have trackers on them. What do you all think?
Well, let me answer that one. Back 1,000 years ago, when there was Indians in America, they were here. Bigfoot was here. I don't know if they, well, go back to the pyramids, the Egyptian. There's a damn dog man in the. Did the government send themselves back in time and make these animals and print? No, I think it's more. I think it's more they've been around. I don't buy that the military bullcorn or bullshit. Get your money. I don't buy that. I think they're a flesh and blood creature that have capabilities that we don't have, and I'll leave it at that. And I think I got it caught on film. If anybody cares to go look at it, I mean, uh,
Rougarou, someone was asking
no.
before. It wasn't Andy. Someone asked before that. What's Rougarou and what's the other one?
Okay,
There's two, isn't there? You can explain it.
I'm done. Yes, I will set the record straight. A rougarou is in South Louisiana, especially, is a Bigfoot. A loup garou is a werewolf, which both are French. A werewolf would be similar to a dog man, okay? Which the accounts go, and there's written accounts of this to the 1400s here in newspapers in New Orleans, that if you get bit by the rougarou, you will turn into a rougarou. Is basically a person transforming. It's a werewolf or werewolf, like basically. I mean,
that's been used for a long time, hasn't it? That kind of theory.
And your part of the country too. I mean, not just here.
Yeah, definitely. Had a question. Carl, put out the angle iron and pray over those four corners and ask the Lord Jesus to get rid of him.
Well, this is my point.
One.
No, I mean, this is my theory on that. Okay, we tried that. We put up crosses and stuff. Nothing's worked. Okay, we were talking about this earlier. And look, please, I don't want to offend anybody. I'm a Christian. I'm a Catholic. I don't go to church. I don't believe that you have to go to church. I believe you can be a good person. You can worship whoever you want on your own time. Having that statement out the way, I will say this, okay? What if these things do not believe in God, or they don't fear God? Because you have to fear something. You have to fear God. You ever heard the expression God-fearing people? Well, if you don't believe in God, then you don't fear him. He's like me. It would be like me going holler at them and tell, hey, y'all need to get out of here. Or I'm gonna tell God. Well, what if God is not part of their belief system? What if they have another God? I mean, and I know I probably are going to rub some people the wrong way about that, but that's really how I truly feel. I mean, these things might not, the old famous saying was, well, if there's aliens, why don't they just land in the front of the White House and go meet the president? Well, first of all, how do they know we have a president? Because their system might be totally different. And how do they know where he lives? I mean,
and what if Sasquatch is just like a bear? He's just like an animal, a creature, and you're not going to do that with the bear.
So but who made him?
Different beliefs there. What is going on with this creature? And for some people, saying, in the name of Jesus, in the name of whatever, and it'll go. And people have experienced that.
Yes, some have. Right.
Some people have done that, and nothing's happened.
I heard Carrie tell an account about a guy who was getting harassed, and he simply just walked out on his porch and said, "Hey, can you leave me alone? You're really disturbing my wife." And they left. They left him alone.
So is it tone that they can pick up then, maybe intent, the intent, like we think we can hear them arguing. They must be able to maybe work out how we're trying to come across.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's so many, like I said, everybody wants to put them in a box, and you can't. There's not a box big enough. I mean, because we can't even understand what kind of box you would need to put them in. I mean, it's so many mysteries with this. I mean,
Joseph, there are a few stories of them running away at the mention of Jesus, but you would then have to say they are the offspring of the Nephilim. Well, this is no disrespect to anyone, but then you just literally putting this into one box, one paradigm, one narrative, and we don't know, do we? It's kind of making a huge assumption. It could be, you could be right, but for me, we've got to keep our minds open to this.
And look, me and Joseph, we talk all the time. He's a Louisiana boy. But what I'm saying is, you have to fear God, or you're doing absolutely No good. Now, if you're the belief system that these are the Nephilim, and they were cast out of, I don't even know how the story goes. They were cast out of heaven, and whatever, however it goes. They didn't teach us that in Catholic school. Somebody had to make them. So evidently, God made them. Then He casted them out for what? Why were they casted out? I never saw that side of the Bible. Like I said, in Catholic schools, they don't teach you about Nephilim and things like this nature. I don't really know the story behind it. I mean, and then somebody said, "Oh, that preacher guy who you had on from Tennessee said I can't get him past the flood."
Yeah.
So either they were on the ark, a pair of two, one or a pair, one on the ark, or I don't know.
He said he was open-minded, wasn't he? He said he was open-minded.
Yeah,
It was Don Neal, and I really liked Don. But when I asked him about Dogman, he kept saying, "Well, I'm always nice to people, and I listen to what they say, but because he believes in what he believes, he's not going to want to know about Dogman. Doesn't really think maybe it fits in with what he's looking for. But then aren't you just closing the door there that maybe needs to stay open? Don't get me wrong, I really like Don. He's a great guy. But I feel like he put a boundary to how far he wanted to go with these things, and what he thought might fit in the narrative. I don't know.
Well,
We do it. It's just natural to I'll believe in something, I'm not going to believe in that. It's very easy to do, but some of these things now, the things we hear, we have to listen to everything, I think, because there's too many people with accounts, stories that we can't ignore. You can't ignore, believe one and ignore another. And that's why, I'm open for all the Nephilim. Anything's possible. But, let's not just
put
it down to that, because it could be anything.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, people have asked us, have you prayed? Have you done this? Yes, we have done that and more, and they still come. I mean, it's what do you do? I mean, we got lights. We got lights for days. We could play a football game here in about an hour in my backyard. You see how it's lit up on the videos. I mean, lights do good to a certain extent because I think it pushes them back, and they're smart enough to stay right on that edge of the lights. So yeah, if you want to use that theory, yes, they do work, but lights in themselves won't run them off. I don't think it didn't work here, and I don't think a lot of people have success with the lights. It's not a deterrent.
No. So, did you have a lot of activity this time last year? Did it go quiet around this time?
Yeah, it's pretty much over. I mean, it's too hot. I mean, we getting up here in the in the 90s, and the humidity is high. And I personally think that they rather stay in that swamp underneath the canopy, because it's about 10 degrees cooler underneath that canopy around the water, because there's always a breeze, on the water, and they're covered in hair. I mean, I can go walk in the woods, and I'm wringing wet just walking to my front door to my mailbox, much less covered in hair.
But my dog now, their hair's designed to keep them cool as well. They almost have a double coat, and it's quite possible. How do other animals with hair cope in hot weather? I think they're designed as well to have some sort of layer between their fur or hair. They must be designed to cope outside. It's one way.
Yeah.
you know,
I mean,
so
they wouldn't live here. I mean, they couldn't survive here if they didn't. I mean, it's just like up in the say in Canada where it gets 20 below, 30 below zero. I mean, they have to be able to survive that some kind of way. I mean, so
Ranch Panther 113, they will step out in front of a camera in broad daylight. Don't let anyone tell you any different. Well, have people seen them in the day crossing the road?
well,
Have they been day? There's been a. Oh, you saw one, didn't you?
I saw one in yeah, it's running. In fact, that by the way, Ranchman 13, is it Ranchman 13? What is he going by? That's Cole Dixon. That's
all right. How you doing,
yeah.
Cole?
He sends me some weird pictures.
Right.
I'm gonna have to send some of them to you if it's all right with him. It's actually one of his friends, but he has some incidents too, and he's about an hour west of me on the Texas Louisiana border.
Okay.
A lot of activity over there. I mean, a lot.
Well, where's he at? Cole, have you caught them on camera? Let me know. Let me go back because I've got some questions up here, I think. Brian Whelan, I think they're Mother Nature's creation and her warriors in the woods. Could be. Forest folk looking after the trees and the ecosystem. I don't know. Hi, Mike.
Well,
our surveillance camera is really effective in keeping them away.
no.
Not always. Doesn't seem to be, does it?
Well, now if it has an infrared light on it, they say that helps because the infrared. I mean, but and I don't think they're so intelligent that they say, "Hey, that's a camera. We need to stay away." I think they see something, and I think they can see infrared light because I can. They see something, it's man-made, not natural, so they don't trust it. They'll go around it or whatever they have to do. Same thing with you. If you see a mean dog chained up with no fence and he's barking and growling at you, you're going to go around him. You're not going to go right next to the dog. So I think that's the way they, operate, I must say.
Yeah, it's a good point. Did we have some more?
Well, and I don't want to give people the impression that I'm a Christian, I'm anti, because people know, especially the guys from Louisiana. Everybody grows up here. You're pretty much Catholic, or you go to church, or a lot of church people, folks around here, all denominations. I mean, it's not that, but my point is that you have to fear something before you can evoke it in the name of something that it fears. You know what I'm saying? It's like a child. If a child will fear you if you holler at him, because he knows you're mad. I don't know how to explain it other than that. I mean, if your belief system doesn't include God, then
it's not going to work, is it?
It's not going to work. No, I mean,
in theory, it shouldn't work.
Now, demons, ghosts that were people in the past might, yeah. But I mean, you're dealing with something that we don't even know what it is. I mean, is it human? Is it ape? Well, I think 100% they're human, some type of human.
I'll pick this out. Hi, Loretta again. Maybe Satan put them here. What are they actually doing? Are they really hurting us? Are they really sort of, I mean, I know people are having trouble on the properties, but generally, I was thinking about something today. Someone said that they don't, they don't take hunters out all the time because they know people will come looking for them, search parties and stuff. Wouldn't that apply to all this 411, people going missing? Wouldn't that create search parties and things, but people
Yeah.
Bigfoot do it. But then on the other hand, they say no, they don't do it to hunters because they know people will come looking. Why are we believing that Bigfoot is not flesh and blood, like Satan has created this monster maybe, or put this down? Are people really feeling like they're out to come and get us, or are we not walking into their space and that's when the problems happen?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you hear all these accounts, you know, uh, about them taking people and killing people and all this stuff, but we've never had a problem like anybody getting hurt. Now, somebody asked if I thought they were demonic. I mean, now, if throwing rocks, agitating my dogs, growling, and go listen to that video, whatever they're doing there, if that's evil, then I'm probably evil because I did a lot of that when I was a kid too. So I mean, it's mischief. And I think the ones doing it around the homes and stuff are the younger ones.
Mm.
You know, it because the I think to snatch somebody up and take them in the woods and kill them or eat them or whatever they do to them, the risk has to be worth the reward. Because, like you said, if they come, there's kids. Well, before COVID, there was kids who caught the bus right here at the corner, right by my house. Okay, for them, and they were there before daylight, like 5:30, high school kids. So for them to run and snatch one of these things up, it's not worth it because they probably know that if they do something like that, well, here they come. Here they're gonna start looking for, so they don't draw attention to themselves like that. But yet they roam the neighborhoods at night, and I mean, so
Okay. Toyeri, I don't get it. Only God creates life and he doesn't make mistakes. He would not make a rational being that is born evil. I think they're an intelligent life that can make choices. But this is just a belief that only God creates life. I'm not trying to get into an argument we're not going to get into this, but that is just, and you're entitled to have that belief, and lots of you are, but that's just one possibility of what's going on.
well, yeah, and let's
what we want. That's not a problem. I'm just saying we can we can.
And we went off on the deep end on this.
We're just going to stay with what we want to believe.
That's right. Let's go back to sonically, because to me this really impresses me, because you have a professional sound engineer. I keep go back to this because this to me is unbelievable. You got a professional sound engineer who records albums, music for a living, won 2 Grammys, has a multi-million-dollar recordings, two of them actually. I'm sorry, 2 of them, and working on a third in Nashville, but got shut down by all this. Tells me, hey, there's something weird with this. Just by loading it up and seeing the sonically what is going on. So he said, I had to, man. I've never seen anything like that before. And I said, well, welcome to the club, buddy. You haven't seen one, but you're seeing evidence of something that doesn't exist right now. I mean, so these things theoretically don't exist, but he has sound waves and audio that's not from a human, that has vocal cords, that speaks some type of language. It almost sounds at times like it's speaking English. What is going on here? I mean,
And also, are these EVPs as well? Are the EVPs, or is there actually something there? That's another thing. Can that be worked out?
think it's both. Yeah, Rachel brings up a good, and I asked, oh, who was it? Rich King Lord. I asked him. I said, "Man, can these things be actually interacting with spirits or ghosts?" Because on one hand, you hear this chatter, like the way they talk, and then you hear voices, like like human voices. But then Keith was telling me, yes, it sounds like someone speaking English, but I'm telling you now, it's not human as we know it. So it's just that just I don't know, that adds a lot of credibility to me when a guy takes a piece of audio and just looks at it and says, "Hey man, this is crazy as hell right here." I mean, I've never seen anything like this before in my life, doing this 35 years.
It's interesting that someone from the outside has
Yes.
looked at this with no kind of conceived ideas or judgments on it. Carl, you owe your wonderful, amazing wife $100. Rachel, I wasn't expecting that.
Enough.
I know. She's covered it just in case there's a little bit more to come out before we finish.
Well, look, hey, I'm gonna make one for the house because I'm gonna get rich quick. I didn't know my wife had that kind of money, but I'm glad she does. She's probably hoarding it underneath the mattress. Maybe that's what umpteen. Maybe they're trying to tell me your lady got umpteen amount of money underneath the mattress that she's hiding from you. Go buy yourself a brand new Les Paul and get yourself a custom
Nice.
shop.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's see. What have we got? Have we got any more questions? Anybody like to add anything to this chat? Jamie Cotterell's got a great idea. How has Carl thought about shouting umpteen at 2 a.m.?
No, I really didn't. Not until now. But well, I'm gonna tell you what, I might do it, but it's not gonna be at 2 a.m. in the morning because I'm sleeping. I'm an old man. But it might be worth a try. When I go outside, just holler umpteen, and I could be interpreted wrong. I mean, go listen to it. Tell me what you think it's saying, or what it. It's either umpteen or umpteen, as close as I can get it. I don't know. Rachel, what do you think it says? Umpteen. Umpteen. We got two umpteens. So,
well, guys, go over and check it out. Not now. Go and check it out though after the show. I'll put the link up again before we finish, and leave some comments for Carl. What you think is being said there? Be interesting for different people to listen to it. Andy gone fishing. Carl, have you heard any more sounds on your roof or your apartment, or has your neighbour to the left behind you seen or heard anything recently?
No, not here. We haven't heard anything. That was mostly Rachel's thing. She would hear that, during the day when I was at work, and sometimes at night when I wasn't here, or you haven't heard anything lately, right? No, I don't think we've had anything like that. I think they, like Carrie said, I think they know that we're on to us, and they may be trying to interact with us, but we just don't know the signals or the protocol, or what to do with it. I mean,
I don't think like the glyphs and the stuff is messages for us. Why would they expect us to understand what they mean?
Unless the only thing I can bring up about that was the Egyptians use hieroglyphs. Maybe they have some kind of connection to that because the Egyptians used I don't know, but how does that explain one being here and not knowing? One didn't call from Egypt, or I don't even know if they exist in Egypt, and say, "Hey, there's this new alphabet out you need to try it. You know what I mean? So, and that's the weird thing. I mean, everybody has one. Everybody has one. Almost every country has one of these things, stories about these things, cave drawings that are 1,000 year old. I mean, and it's like a caveman. Or let's take a dinosaur. Okay, we know dinosaurs exist because they've dug up their skeletons and put them together and made a whole dinosaur. And then they have a recreation of what they think they look like because we don't know. There wasn't anybody around to draw one. There wasn't anybody around to take a picture. So what if they had hair? What if cavemen were covered in hair and they just missing the boat? On the because they do look cavemanish. I mean,
Well, we wear clothes, don't we? And clothes rub hair. I know we have hair, but
well, sure.
if we had the amount, more hair, I'm pretty sure because we wear clothes. I mean, I could be talking complete rubbish now, but it just makes you think there's a reason why we're less hairy. Is it because we wear clothes and that rubs and doesn't? I don't know. Am I talking rubbish now? Is it getting too late?
Well,
time for bed.
One crazy thing is I've always heard all my life, and I don't know how true this is. At some point in the next couple of generations, our second to last finger will be gone because we don't use it for anything.
Right. Second to last. All right.
Yeah, next to your pinky.
Yeah.
That finger will be gone because you don't use it and we really don't need it. Now, who came up with that theory? I have no idea. But when you think about it, how many times do you use that finger? I can't hardly even control that finger. I mean, I can kind of do that, which, but I can't put your fingers like this together and try to move that finger. You hardly have any power in that finger. I mean, so it's useless.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting.
We getting deep now, huh?
Yeah, we are. I just want to ask, we've got Moggy on Monstering. Are you coming on tomorrow night? Let me know. I was going to message you. So
Moggy on Monstering.
A yay or a nay. But I think you are. I hope you are. We've got some more questions. Mike again. Sure. I wonder if poisonous snake bites in the swamp area would have any effect on them.
Well, there's no, certain animals are immune to venom. I mean, so I don't know. And certain people are immune to venom. I know a guy who's been bitten by water moccasins at least over 10 times and hasn't died. So evidently he has some type of immunity in his system that it doesn't affect him, because a normal person, I don't know if you'd die, but it rots your flesh and they have to go in and dig it out from the inside, and it's not good. It's bad. Mm-hmm. But maybe so. Maybe because they do live where they live, they might be.
Boomer on Two Wheels makes a good point here, actually. Please explain how we can have exact representations of known dinosaurs carved into stone, onto pottery, and cave drawings if man had never seen them. This is, everything is like this. It doesn't just come from imagination. We get our imagination being inspired by things we see. That's how I think. How can we imagine something without some sort of, seeing something to give you,
right? Well, that brings up a good point, because maybe they're not going. Well, we have dinosaurs. We have dinosaurs. We have birds. We have alligators. We have turtles. So, but I get what he's saying. The big, humongous type of. Yes, that is an interesting point. How would they even know what they look like? I mean, unless maybe there are still some around.
Mm. Yeah, I've seen this too, toy area where they can get skeletal remains and then almost create a they can work out the profile of the face just with the skeletons.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
how that's why we all look different. It's our bone skeletons that do that create our faces.
But yeah, exactly. I agree with that 100%. But were they covered with hair, or were they like us, just a little bit of hair? Back then, they probably needed that extra layer of hair or skin or something to survive the elements, because they basically lived out in the open. And so who really knows what a caveman looked like? I mean, I'm sure they're pretty accurate with the bone structures and looks, but did it have hair? Did it not have hair? I don't know.
Got your Mogs. That's good. He's on tomorrow night. Snake bites don't bother horses and cows much unless it gets them on the face. You know,
Yeah.
our different animals, do they react differently with, different snake bites?
Who said that? Who just?
Cole?
Oh, okay. Cole, yeah. Oh, yeah. He'll know. I mean, he'll know better than anybody. About that kind of, not about Bigfoot being bit by a snake, but about cows and horses and stuff like that. So, yeah, he's the man for that question.
What else have we got? Any more questions, guys? Everyone, let me just put this up again. First of all, hang on. A bit slow tonight. I was really rushed tonight. That's why I had to put the show an hour later, because so this is Andy Gone Fishing. Go and check out Andy's channel. Give him a like if you like grilling and fishing and talking and all that stuff. Go and check out Andy's football.
Yeah.
Nice.
Our football, not your football. I don't think he knows too much about your football.
Not soccer.
Yeah. Soccer. He might. I don't know. It's big with kids here. It's just after, in high school. After that, I mean, there's college teams and there's a little pro league, but it's not huge like what it is, overseas where you're at. I mean,
I don't follow football at all. Not even.
Well, you should. You'd probably do a lot of swearing, and you'd probably fill up your jaw.
That's the thing. That's what happens when I go to football matches. I just can't say anything other than a swear word, drink loads of beer, and start fighting.
This is totally off a topic, but since we're talking about money and swearing, I'm gonna tell a little joke. Okay. It's not that vulgar, but a guy told me one time. He said, when you get married, every time you have sex, you put a quarter in a jar. He said,
Rachel Tutting. Should this not be on air, Rachel?
No, serious. It's true. You put for the first year you're married, every time you have sex, you put a quarter in that jar. And he said, you will fill up that jar in no time. He said, empty that jar, and then after that, every time you have sex, you put another quarter in the jar. He said, and you will never fill it up. You will never fill it up again. Damn.
So guys, have I just put I've put Carl's channel in the chat as well. What else am I going to do? I'm going to put my new channel link in the chat, which is Hidden Existence TV, and hopefully I'll be out and about soon, going live when it stops raining, because I live in England and it's been raining now for 7 days on the trot. So not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere with my camera. So
Tell me about your new channel, because this is when I had my nervous breakdown and I
Oh,
had to take time off. What do you do on your new channel?
well, it just happened by accident, really. Um, I I thought I took the dog for a walk, and I thought I'm going to try and go live from my phone because I'd never
Mhm.
done it. We were waiting for it to come, and then when it did, I wasn't even bothered. But anyway, I took the dog for a walk. It was a nice day, and I thought I'm just going to try it and see what happens. And then the next thing, a few folk turn up on YouTube in the chat, and I ended up taking them around Lancaster Castle and the Priory, which is the really old buildings, and people really seem to enjoy it. And I thought, why not share a bit of where I live? And because I live in bang in the middle of loads of stuff. Literally, I can go out my door in any direction and take you to something that looks amazing, that's got a story behind it, a bit of history. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to do on my other channel, is go out and about my local area and share a bit of England with you. And it's cheaper than a plane ticket,
Yeah.
you can just do
Well,
it.
well,
Sat at home, you can just check out, England, sat at home. So
you know what you need to do too? You need to tell people like about the TV license.
we did it the
'Cause
other
that
night.
that you did?
We did it the other night. We also did the rainwater
Oh
removal
my God.
charge from my roof.
That is the craziest
So,
thing I've ever heard
I
of.
know.
I mean,
Jamie, yeah, we're going to get fish and chips and mushy peas, because you got to have mushy peas if you can have fish and chips. So yeah, thank you, Joseph, for subscribing to my new channel. Thank you, everybody who has. I know there's nothing on there at the moment, but it's going to happen. I promise. Uh,
well, not to cut you off
no,
for
go on.
the 100th time, but Joseph would be a good guy to talk to.
Oh yeah,
And I don't know how he feels about coming on your channel, because he's had some crazy experiences right there around the Honey Island. There he is, right there, right around the Honey Island swamp. You know where if you watch MK Davis, he's always in there. I mean, in fact, I think one of the first Bigfoot footages of a Bigfoot came from the Honey Island swamp. It predates the Patterson Gimlin film, I think.
right. Well, Joseph, I don't want to put you on the spot, but there's an invitation for you to come on if you'd like to, and come and share what you know and talk. You can maybe come on with Carl. You can have three of us on. Uh,
Well, you have a limit on YouTube of how many coon ashes you can have on one time. So it could, I don't know, we may be able to get away with me, Andy, and Joe. Now that would be a show.
with who? Sorry.
Me, Joseph, and Andy going fishing. Now you'd have yourself a show right there. You'd have to put up subtitles, but I mean, it would be entertaining as hell. But
Yeah. Andy, you up for it? Andy, why are you calling your yard a garden and car hood? Do you mean hood, a bonnet?
oh, the bonnet.
The bonnet. We don't call. I do call my garden a garden, but if I've got an area in my backyard that doesn't have any grass on it. It's just like crazy paving slabs. So that's bit is the yard, and the garden is where the grass is and the flowers and stuff.
Oh,
And car bonnet, I've no idea. I've no idea why we call it a bonnet here. Is it because it's like the hat that goes over the engine head gasket? I don't know. I'm just talking rubbish now. I'm trying to. I don't know.
oh, you
Um,
know who else? Know who else we might need to get on here is a Ranchman 113. He's a Louisiana guy, but he'll probably be cooking. So I don't know if if he'll be able
right.
to make it or not. He might be cooking a good old stew or gumbo or crawfish
Sounds
etouffee or something like
nice.
that.
Sounds
Yeah,
nice.
I seriously want to marry him. I mean, because this dude
Rachel?
drinks some well.
That's why that jar's empty.
Yeah, Rach said that's why the jar is empty if you didn't hear. But no, this dude cooks some amazing looking stuff. Now, I've never tasted it, but I'm sure he's a Louisiana boy. He knows his stuff, and ooh,
Well, let's get it organised, because maybe on Hidden Existence TV, we'll be doing a bit of cooking. We'll be doing a bit of sharing recipes and things like that. So Joseph, Andy, are you guys up for coming on with Carl? Let me know. Have a think.
I don't see my good buddy Ruger Ridge. Is he here tonight?
Cole as well. Cole, if you want to come on, if you've got, some stuff to talk about. Who are you saying? Ruger Ridge was in, I think, and he's had to go for some fireworks and.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This is the 4th of July. I'm
grilling or something like that.
Yeah.
Guys, have we done? We've done an hour and a half. Yeah.
Man. Well, how much money have we raised? Because I'm about to let loose.
I think we're going to cap it at $100 a night, because I can't take any more from you, Carl. You'd be skint.
Well, no, you're not taking it from me. You're going to be. No, wait. Who puts up the money?
Sure? Are you sure?
No, well, hold up now.
Do you know where your credit card is?
Yes, I just used it to buy something earlier. Hey, I might be dumb, but I'm not stupid. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You know the old saying.
125. Is that what it was, Andy? That's amazing. That's going to happen.
Can I physically see the jar? I want to see the jar.
This isn't the jar, but it's kind of. This is like.
Yeah, it's a nice jar. It looks like an old mason jar. What did you get? Moonshine in there? Are you bootlegging moonshine from
I'm doing anything I can with it. I'm like recycling it each time, but now it's become the money jar, the swear jar. I never thought I needed it before, but this last few weeks, people are just like letting loose and getting it off the chest, and I can't stop them doing it. So I thought maybe if I say there's a penalty, they might think about it, because it was upsetting a couple of people in the chat. I know it's an adult channel. We all swear at some point. I get, sometimes people get very passionate about something, and sometimes it's the easiest word to come out with, the first thing you can think of. But I never think we've never had guests that just talk it all night, because all my guests are great, articulate, they know how to present themselves, and some people just now and again, like yourself, a bit passionate about stuff, just blurts out. Well, yeah,
I mean, now I'm just joking around, but when I start talking about this stuff, the stuff we talked about earlier, I'm serious as heck. I mean, but you still have to live your life, even if you're going through something like this. And believe me, if anybody is, talk to somebody, because I feel like this is our family here. I feel like everybody here is part of my family now. I can go to any one of these people and just talk to them. I mean, it doesn't even have to be about Bigfoot or whatever. It can just be about anything.
Yeah. Well, that's tomorrow night on here. Anything goes. Sunday night, Hidden Existence, anything goes. We're talking about anything. And if you want to join in that sometime, you're welcome to, Carl. But it's not just about Bigfoot, is it? This community, it's about lots of things, and we're all connected. Not just with Bigfoot, we're all connected because we all understand. We're all wanting to learn. We're all wanting to Strangeland. Thank you. I've got that. It's shown up at my end. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
I mean, people are here for a reason. I mean, they're not on the
Andy, I can't believe you swear at all. Andy, I'm really disappointed, and I can't believe you swear.
Oh
That's
yeah.
that's just completely.
Well,
changed.
he wasn't swearing last year for that game.
Oh right.
He probably was after, but he
Weren't
wasn't
losing.
swearing probably during it. Well, his butt was so puckered up probably. But I knew it. I knew they were going to win that game. I knew it. But you don't even know what we're talking about. But
Night night, Fred Muppet. It is late. It's 20 to 3 in the morning. Yeah, 20 to 3.
well, what's that have to do with it?
Well, because she lives around the corner from me. Literally.
Oh, I thought you were like saying you were tired and you
No.
wanted to go to bed. I'm like, no.
Fred Muppet.
Yeah,
Went to bed. You know.
I figured out a long time ago you don't sleep. You're a vampire.
Yeah, I know. It's very weird, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy it's Sunday tomorrow because I'll be having a lie-in, you know, till about 7 in the morning or something silly. Right, guys, I think we've had all the questions. We've had a good chat tonight. I've enjoyed it. I'm going to be on tomorrow night for Anything Goes with Jason and Moggy on Monster. Wednesday will be on the Researchers Report on the Bigfoot Odyssey.
What is it? That's the name of his channel, Mogi on Monster. I think I'm subscribed to it. I'm subscribed to so many things I don't even know what I'm subscribed to. And I wasn't getting like I explained in that video, I wasn't getting notifications. Now I am. I guess maybe people at YouTube went back to work or whatever. Tracy? Who's Tracy?
She wanted to know if we moved, if we thought they would follow us.
Tracy. Okay.
Go on.
Tracy's Rachel. Can you hear me? Rachel said Tracy had a question. She said she wants to know if we moved, if they would follow us. I have no idea. I think we and friends on their territory, and they pay us a visit every now and then just to make sure we're keeping up with the land and we're not doing anything wrong. And if we do make a change, they let us know about it if they don't like it.
Yeah. I've just put a link up to Moglion's channel. Guys, go and check it out. What the fascination.
Do people know I can't see the chat?
Why can't you see the chat?
I can't. Yeah, well, I mean, I can see it on YouTube, but I have to get on my phone and.
All right.
So I'm sorry.
I think Rachel's been on it as well. Rachel's been reading the questions and.
Yeah. All right.
Sure. I hope we haven't missed any out. I'm sorry if we have.
No. And if I did, I know pretty much the people here. They know they can just put a question on my YouTube.
Yeah.
And I try to answer everybody, and
it's all good. It's all good. So, guys, thanks everyone. Thanks for questions. Thanks for the mods.
Yes.
Thank you, Carl. I'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Before we shut this curse marathon on, I would just want to thank everybody again, for checking up on us and make sure we were all right and everything. Because like I said, we're all family. I mean, I consider, and I'm sure you do too, and everybody else does, like family, extended family members. So thank you. And we're back and we're open for business. So. Excellent.
Thank you again, Rachel. I appreciate that. Really, I wasn't expecting that, but thank you. So, guys, yeah, we'll see you all soon. Have a good night and happy 4th of July.
Yep.